You have been saying Shalom your entire life without knowing that the word has never meant what you think it means. And the moment you understand what this Hebrew word actually means, you will realize that you have never truly experienced it. Not even once. Most people in the Western world hear the word Shalom and immediately picture a quiet room, a calm mind, the absence of noise, the absence of conflict, maybe a candle burning on a table while soft music plays in the background. We have been conditioned to believe that peace is essentially the removal of problems. We think that if we could just eliminate the tension, silence the anxiety, and stop the chaos around us, then we would finally have peace. And because of that, millions of people spend their entire lives chasing something they do not even have the right definition for. They pray for Shalom. They put it on their walls. They tattoo it on their skin. They say it as a greeting and as a farewell. And yet not one of them stops to ask the most important question of all. What does this word actually mean in the language it was born in? Because here is what nobody tells you. The Hebrew word Shalom does not mean the absence of conflict. It never did. And the moment you go back to the original text, back to the ancient culture where this word was first spoken, your entire understanding of peace, of God, of what a good life actually looks like, will be turned completely upside down. The root of the word Shalom in the Hebrew language comes from the root word Shalem. And Shalem does not mean calm. It does not mean quiet. It does not mean undisturbed. Shalem means whole. It means complete. It means nothing is missing and nothing is broken. When the ancient Hebrew people used the word Shalom, they were not describing a feeling. They were describing a state of total wholeness in every single dimension of a person's existence. Their relationships, their body, their finances, their community, their connection to God, all of it functioning exactly as it was designed to function. Not the absence of war, but the presence of everything that makes life fully alive. Think about that for a moment. We have been praying for the removal of problems when God designed Shalom to be the restoration of everything. Those are not even close to the same thing. One is about subtraction. The other is about completion. And the difference between those two definitions changes the way you read every single passage in the Bible where this word appears. In the ancient Near Eastern world, Shalom was not a private spiritual experience. It was not something you went and found alone in a meditation room. Shalom was deeply communal. When a Hebrew farmer harvested a full crop and his family had enough to eat and his neighbors were also fed and his debts were paid and his children were healthy, that was Shalom. When a village had functioning relationships, when the weak were protected, when justice was being practiced in the city gates, when the land itself was producing and thriving, that was Shalom. It was a word that described the world working the way God intended it to work. And because of that, Shalom was not just a personal goal. It was a social responsibility. You could not have full Shalom by yourself while your neighbor was suffering. The wholeness was collective. This completely destroys the individualistic version of peace that modern Christianity has sold to an entire generation. We have turned Shalom into a personal emotional state, something you feel inside when your life is going well, something that is disconnected from the people around you and the world you live in. But the ancient Hebrew understanding of Shalom says that if the people around you are broken and you are doing nothing about it, you do not have Shalom. You have comfort. And comfort and Shalom are not the same thing. Now, look at the way God uses this word in the scripture and watch how the definition shifts everything. In the book of Numbers, chapter 6, God gives Moses a blessing to speak over the people of Israel. It is one of the most famous blessings in the entire Bible. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face toward you and give you Shalom. Most people read that last line and hear God saying, may you feel calm and undisturbed. But now read it with the correct definition. May the Lord give you total wholeness. May nothing in your life be missing. May nothing in your life be broken. May every dimension of your existence be fully restored to its original design. That is not a promise of tranquility. That is a promise of complete restoration. And those are two entirely different gifts. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, one of the most powerful prophecies about Jesus in the entire Old Testament, the prophet writes something that most English translations soften without realizing it. He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us shalom was on him. Most translations say the punishment that brought us peace was on him. And again, most readers picture emotional peace. But the word is shalom. The punishment that brought us wholeness was on him. The punishment that restored what was missing and fixed what was broken was placed on the body of Jesus. The cross was not just a transaction to calm your anxious heart. It was a cosmic act of total restoration. Jesus took the punishment so that the wholeness of humanity could be recovered, so that nothing would be missing and nothing would be broken anymore. That is what was happening on that hill outside Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. And we have been calling it a peace offering when it was actually a wholeness offering. This also reframes the most famous thing Jesus ever said about peace. In the book of John chapter 14, verse 27, Jesus tells his disciples, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." For generations, Christians have read that as Jesus offering emotional stability, a kind of spiritual sedative to calm the nerves. And while there is certainly a comforting element to what he is saying, the deeper meaning is so much more powerful. When Jesus says my peace, he is saying my shalom. He is saying the state of complete wholeness that I carry, the state in which nothing is missing and nothing is broken in my relationship with the Father. That is what I am leaving with you. He is not handing over a feeling. He is handing over condition, a way of being in the world that is rooted in total completeness rather than in the removal of difficulty. And notice what he says immediately after. I do not give to you as the world gives. That contrast is everything. The world gives peace by taking things away. The world gives peace by eliminating your enemies, by filling your bank account, by removing the diagnosis, by solving the problem. The world's version of peace is always conditional. It lasts only as long as the circumstances cooperate. But the shalom of Jesus is not conditional. It does not depend on what is happening around you, because it is rooted in what is complete within you and between you and God. This is why Paul can write from a prison cell in the book of Philippians and tell his readers that the peace of God, the shalom of God, surpasses all understanding. He is not saying it is mysterious. He is saying it does not follow the logic of this world. By every calculation of the world, a man in chains should not have wholeness. And yet Paul has it, because his shalom is not coming from his circumstances. It is coming from his connection to the God who is the source of all wholeness. This also forces us to look at the way we pursue peace in our own lives and ask a very uncomfortable question. Are we actually pursuing shalom, or are we just pursuing comfort? Because those two things look very different in practice. Comfort says eliminate everything that causes you pain. Shalom says restore everything that is broken. Comfort is passive. Shalom is active. Comfort retreats from the world. Shalom goes into the world to repair it. The Hebrew concept of repairing the world, the idea that human beings are called to participate in the ongoing restoration of what is broken, is deeply rooted in the logic of shalom. When you understand that shalom means wholeness and completeness, you understand that pursuing shalom means actively working to see wholeness and completeness extended to the people and the communities around you. It means that the follower of God is not called to build a comfortable life insulated from suffering. The follower of God is called to be an instrument of shalom in a world that is broken. Think honestly about your own life right now. When you pray for peace, what are you actually asking for? Are you asking God to remove the discomfort? Or are you asking God to bring complete wholeness to every broken thing? Because those prayers will take you in very different directions. The person who prays for the removal of discomfort will spend their life running from hard things. The person who prays for shalom will spend their life walking toward them, because they understand that the wholeness of God is powerful enough to function even in the middle of the hardest seasons. The ancient Israelites did not say shalom to each other as a wish for a quiet day. They said it as a declaration. They were speaking wholeness over each other. They were affirming that the person in front of them was seen, was valued, and was deserving of a life in which nothing was missing and nothing was broken. That is the greeting that Jesus walked into every room carrying. That is the word he spoke over the lame and the blind and the outcast and the sinner. Not go find some quiet place and feel calm for a few minutes, but be whole, be complete, be restored to everything you were designed to be. Shalom was never a feeling. It was always a declaration of what God intended for every human being from the very beginning of creation. If there's one thing you take away from this video, let be this: God never designed peace to be the absence of something. He designed Shalom to be the presence of everything. The wholeness that you have been searching for has a name. It has always had a name, and that name is not tranquility, not comfort, not the silence after the storm. It is Shalom, total completeness, nothing missing, nothing broken. That is what God promised you. That is what Jesus died to give you. And that is exactly what is available to you right now. Not after the problems disappear, but in the middle of them. If this video changed the way you understand one of the most important words in the Bible, then do 3 things right now. First, leave the word Shalom in the comments below. Just that one word. Because when you write it after understanding its real meaning, you are not just leaving a comment. You're declaring something over your own life. Second, share this video with someone who needs to hear that God's plan for them is not just calm feelings, but complete restoration. Someone in your life is praying for the wrong thing right now. Be the one who shows them the difference. Third, subscribe and turn on notifications, because every single video on this channel is designed to do exactly what this one just did. Take a word you thought you knew and show you how deep it actually goes. The next episode is going to break another definition that religion got completely wrong, and you do not want to miss it.